have to admit, I am absolutely reeling from the sheer audacity of the recent events surrounding Mona Wilson. As we all know, Mona recently received a devastating type 2 diabetes diagnosis. She has been exhausted, vulnerable, and trying to navigate this massive lifestyle change. In moments like these, you lean on your best friends. But what does Jan Morgan do? She completely betrays Mona's trust. Jan actually gave Leslie Thomas the directions to Mona's house, knowing full well that Leslie is a manipulative opportunist. Jan later admitted to Mona that she felt zero remorse for this betrayal, genuinely believing that aligning with a wealthy, albeit toxic woman like Leslie would bring them financial benefits. This level of greed from Jan is staggering. It makes me question everything about Jan's character up to this point. Was she always this financially desperate? Or has the glitz and glamour of Fairmont Crest finally corrupted her moral compass? So this makes me wonder, how far is Leslie willing to go? The answer, apparently, is to the darkest depths of psychological manipulation. Leslie orchestrated a completely fake sympathy visit to Mona's home. She pretended to care about Mona's health, playing the role of a concerned friend while Mona was physically drained from her illness. But Leslie's fake kindness was nothing more than a smokescreen. While Mona's guard was down, Leslie callously stole Mona's highly coveted, prestigious VIP invitation to Martin Richardson's upcoming political fundraiser. The sheer sociopathy required to sit in a sick woman's living room, offer fake condolences, and simultaneously rob her blind is terrifying. When Mona finally discovered the theft, the realization of Leslie's true venomous nature hit her like a freight train. It was a heartbreaking moment of clarity for Mona, who realized that she was surrounded by vultures waiting to pick her bones clean. But that's not all. The fallout from this theft led to one of the most intense confrontations we have seen all season. Right outside Orphe, Jeans, Mona, and Jan had a fiery, explosive argument. Mona was absolutely horrified by Jan's pragmatic, cold-blooded justification for the betrayal. Jan's refusal to apologize was the final nail in the coffin for their friendship. Mona, showing incredible strength despite her physical exhaustion, made the definitive choice to completely cut ties with both Jan and Leslie. I was cheering for Mona in this scene. She didn't just walk away. She made a silent vow to protect the Dupree family from these gold-digging parasites. Mona knows that if Leslie is willing to exploit a sick woman for a party ticket, there is no telling what she will do to the billionaire Duprees. My theory is that this fracture will have massive, potentially deadly consequences for Jan Morgan. By alienating Mona, Jan has lost her moral anchor. What happens when Jan gets too close to Leslie's toxic orbit? Could Jan end up being collateral damage in one of Leslie's many schemes? I wouldn't be surprised if Jan ends up destitute, imprisoned, or even dead because she aligned herself with the wrong people for a quick buck. On the flip side, Mona's vow to protect the Duprees could place her directly in the line of fire. Will Mona become a vigilante informant for Vernon and Anita? Or will Leslie realize Mona is a threat and attempt to silence her permanently? The stakes have never been higher for these women, and I am terrified for Mona's safety. Now, let's talk about the main event, Martin Richardson's political fundraiser. Armed with her stolen VIP ticket, Leslie crashed the party looking absolutely glamorous, yet entirely out of place among the true elite. The atmosphere at the country club was already thick with tension. As we know, a massive tornado is destined to hit Fairmont Crest on the night of this exact event, and the heavy, suffocating pre-storm energy was palpable in the room. But Leslie wasn't there to support Martin's political aspirations. She was on a hunting expedition, and her targets were the biggest whales in the room, the Genoa City billionaires Victor Newman and Jack Abbott, who were in town for the massive crossover event. However, before Leslie could even launch her grand scam, something incredibly bizarre and dangerous happened. Amidst the chaotic, swirling crowd, casino owner Joey Armstrong spotted Leslie. Joey, who is currently drowning in paranoia as the police close in on his black market plasma ring, made a catastrophic error in judgment. He actually mistook Leslie for a crucial high-level link in the Impaler's criminal syndicate. Joey approached her, said some cryptic things, and then abruptly left, leaving Leslie utterly confused. This interaction is absolutely mind-blowing and opens up a terrifying Pandora's box of theories. So this makes me wonder, why on earth did Joey think Leslie was connected to the Impaler? We know Joey is scheduled to meet the actual Impaler soon, so his nerves are completely shot. But is it possible that Joey's mistake wasn't entirely baseless? Think about it. Leslie has been heavily funding the free clinic, which is exactly where some of the stolen plasma originated. What if the money Leslie is using to fund the clinic comes from dirty, black market sources without her even realizing it? Or, even more terrifyingly, what if Leslie is secretly involved, playing the fool to throw Joey off? My personal theory is that Joey's mistake just painted a massive target on Leslie's back. If the real Impaler finds out that Leslie is being mistaken for a syndicate boss, they might decide to eliminate her to tie up loose ends. Leslie could end up dead in a ditch before the week is over. Oblivious to the deadly criminal crosshairs she may have just stepped into, Leslie proceeded with her primary objective. She completely ignored Jack Abbott and zeroed in on the ultimate prize, Victor Newman. I have to say, watching Leslie try to manipulate the mustache was like watching a mouse try to negotiate with a lion. Leslie confidently approached Victor and pitched a completely fraudulent phantom investment project based in Fairmont Crest. She poured on the charm, using every manipulative tactic in her arsenal, hoping to swindle a massive sum of money out of the legendary billionaire. She actually thought she could outsmart Victor Newman. But of course, Victor Newman did not build a global empire by being a fool. With his decades of ruthless business experience and unparalleled intuition, Victor saw through Leslie's deceit in a matter of seconds. I could practically feel the ice radiating from Victor as he listened to her pathetic, transparent pitch. He didn't just reject her. He completely dismantled her facade. Victor recognized the desperate, greedy glint in Leslie's eyes, the same glint he has seen in countless corporate con artists over the years in Genoa City. It was a masterclass in reading people, and Leslie was hopelessly outmatched. Instead of just walking away, Victor took things a step further, proving exactly why he is such a fiercely loyal friend. He immediately sought out his old buddy, Vernon Dupree. In front of several high-profile guests, Victor pointedly warned Vernon about the poisonous snake slithering through his country club. Victor's warning was loud, clear, and utterly devastating to Leslie's social standing. Leslie was publicly humiliated, stripped of her glamorous veneer, and exposed as a cheap grifter in front of the very elite society she so desperately wants to conquer. The embarrassment must have been absolutely agonizing for her. But if there is one thing we know about Leslie Thomas, it is that she does not retreat when she is wounded. She strikes back. Humiliated and seething with rage, Leslie did not flee the country club. Instead, she stood her ground and made a dark, chilling vow to make the entire Dupree family pay for this ultimate insult. She blames Vernon for allowing Victor to humiliate her, and she undoubtedly blames the entire Dupree legacy for making her feel inferior. This makes me incredibly anxious for the safety of the Dupree family. A desperate, angry Leslie is a dangerous Leslie. My theory is that Leslie's vow for revenge is going to dovetail tragically with the impending tornado. We know the lights are going to go out. We know the crystal chandelier is going to fall and shatter. What if the chandelier falling isn't an act of God? What if Leslie, in her blind fury, sabotages the country club's infrastructure during the storm to cause a catastrophic accident aimed at the Duprees? Could Leslie be the reason Jack and Diane Abbott are seen crouching in terror? If Leslie causes physical harm to the guests, she will cross a line from which she can never return. She will transform from a petty thief and scammer into a full-blown attempted murderer. Furthermore, this public humiliation might be the exact catalyst that finally pushes Leslie into a formal alliance with Haley Hamilton. We know Leslie has been relentlessly badgering Haley to team up and take down the Dupree family. Up until now, Haley has been hesitant, focused solely on poisoning her husband Bill. But with Leslie now possessing a burning, vengeful vendetta against Vernon and Anita, Haley might see Leslie as the perfect, ruthless weapon to unleash upon her enemies. If these two toxic women join forces, The destruction they could rain down on Fairmont Crest would be apocalyptic. The Duprees won't just be fighting a social climber. They'll be fighting a coordinated assault on their lives and their legacy. As we look ahead, the board is set for absolute chaos. Mona is armed with the truth and a protective fury. Jan is isolated by her own greed. Joey is spiraling into dangerous paranoia. Victor Newman has drawn a line in the sand to protect his friends. And Leslie is a humiliated, venomous snake ready to bite. With a deadly tornado bearing down on the country club, the physical storm is going to perfectly mirror the emotional and psychological warfare exploding inside those walls. Who will survive the night? Will Leslie's revenge claim a life? Will Joey's impaler mistake get someone killed? I am counting down the seconds until the next episode because Fairmont Crest is about to be changed forever. Stay tuned. Keep your theories coming. And remember, in this town, nobody is safe.